Tonight, much too fast. Late today, we learned the speed the New York commuter train was going before it jumped the tracks. Jeff Pegues, Don Daler, and Michelle Miller are on the story.
How scary were those few seconds?
Scariest moments of my life.
Today, the healthcare website was supposed to be fixed. Wyatt Andrews on how it's working. Amazon experiments with delivery by drone. Mark Strassman on the coming wave of pilotless planes. And Jim Axelrod introduces us to math genius John Urschel, who sure knows how to divide a defensive line.
I feel like it's what I'm here to do.
Which one, the football or the math?
Both.
This is the CBS Evening News with Scott Pelley.
Good evening. Well, the curve was sharp and the train was going way too fast. Late today, federal investigators said that the commuter train was bolting down the track at 82 miles an hour as it approached the 30-mile-an-hour zone in the Bronx, New York, early yesterday. Cars from the Metro North train flew off the tracks and nearly into the Harlem River. 4 people were killed. Some were thrown from the train. 75 others were hurt and 11 of them critically injured. Investigators are poring over the data from the train's black boxes to find out why this happened. We have a team of correspondents covering the story, starting with Jeff Pegues at the crash scene. Jeff?
And Scott, investigators were able to determine the speed of the train from those black boxes, which also showed that the throttle was cut and the brakes were applied far too late. By the time the train reached the curve, it was traveling nearly 3 times as fast as it should have been. Earl Wayner is an NTSB board member.
The preliminary information, and let me emphasize this is preliminary information, from the event recorders shows that the train was traveling at approximately 82 miles per hour as it went into a 30-mile-an-hour curve. That speed, again, was 82 miles an hour at the entrance to a 30-mile-an-hour curve.
The train passed through a 70-mile-an-hour zone, then entered into a 30-mile-an-hour curve, traveling at 82 miles an hour, 52 miles over the speed limit. The brakes were fully applied just 5 seconds before the train came to a complete stop, likely after the train had already started to derail. The throttle was cut just 6 seconds before the train stopped.
It was only 6 seconds before everything came to a stop that the throttle went to idle.
So this was late in the game?
Very late in the game.
The NTSB says it is still reviewing the data from the recorders and interviewing the train's 4 crew members, among them the engineer, 46-year-old William Rockefeller Jr. On Sunday, law enforcement sources say Rockefeller, a 20-year MTA employee, told first responders that he hit the brakes as he was approaching the curve, but the train did not respond. Investigators say so far they have not discovered any evidence to suggest there was any problem with the brakes. And Scott, they say it's too early to tell if the cause of the derailment was human error or faulty equipment.
Jeff, thanks very much. Investigators also want to know what witnesses saw and heard, and Don Daler has that part of the story.
Early this morning, huge cranes began lifting the 40-ton derailed cars and the locomotive.
Train derailment is down by Spike train station. We have 5 cars off the track.
Had you ever seen anything like that before?
No.
Photographer Felix Lamb lives above the crash site. He says he will never forget the sound of the accident.
I hear a rolling noise like a mountain when they rock coming down to the...
like an avalanche.
Right.
Lamb grabbed his camera and ran down the hill, arriving before most of the first responders. His photographs captured the desperate rescue efforts, the dismay of the victims, and the chaos of what had been a quiet Sunday morning. The train had left Poughkeepsie, New York at 5:54 a.m. with about 150 passengers. Many were going to work or returning from the holiday weekend. At the time of the wreck, they were just 21 minutes away from their final destination, Grand Central Terminal. Ryan Kelly suffered a broken hand.
Again, I was asleep, but when I woke up, we were going pretty fast, and you heard a lot of screeching, and there were sparks outside the windows. And by the time I fully came to it, I was already getting thrown around back and forth.
The last car removed today was the front car, where the engineer had been controlling the train.
Are there automated systems that...
Near the site of the accident, we spoke with Robert Paswell, former head of the Chicago Transit Authority.
The engineer has to get, engineer's always getting the feel of the train through the throttle. Is it going fast enough? Are you jerking around? Is the weight distributed correctly in the cars? That's another thing to look at.
The entire train was removed to an undisclosed location. Scott, what happens here next is the tracks have to be repaired and then fully inspected before service will be restored to this busy stretch of commuter railway.
Don Daler at the scene on the Harlem River. Don, thanks very much. And today, Michelle Miller spoke with one of the survivors.
Actually, I'm just feeling pretty lucky, to tell you the truth.
Lucky.
Yeah, very lucky.
Dennis O'Neill boarded the Metro North at 7:02 a.m. heading to a trade show in New York City. 18 minutes later, he realized something was wrong. Did you feel the train braking at all?
I did not. I could actually feel the car lean and flopped over hard. And as we were sliding down, a lot of the windows had blown out. A lot of dirt was blowing through. At that point, there was nothing to do but cover up. There was enough time to think those bad thoughts, like this could be it.
How scary were those few seconds?
Scariest moments of my life, yeah.
O'Neill remembers people crying for help. He found his iPad and his cell phone and dialed 911. Then he called his wife, Maureen. They had just celebrated their 32nd wedding anniversary on Thanksgiving. They have 3 children. Have you really processed it all?
I don't know if I processed it all. I've started processing it. I've had some weak moments yesterday.
When did those happen?
Yesterday, I got in the car with my son.
What happened?
Nothing. I was just happy to see him. And we hugged.
And Dennis O'Neill says that he'll head to New York City tomorrow morning to check out that trade show that he missed on Sunday. But Scott, he says he won't be taking the train anytime soon.
Michelle, thanks very much. In another important story tonight, the healthcare website faced its first big test today since the Obama administration said that it met its deadline to make healthcare.gov work smoothly for the vast majority of shoppers. Trouble since the site's debut in October has cut into enrollments. We learned today that 100,000 signed up online in November for a total of more than 206,000 so far, but that is 1 million short of the enrollees projected. Wyatt Andrews has been checking into the website today. Wyatt?
Scott, the administration says that 375,000 people tried to shop on healthcare.gov, and that was before noon today. Officials called that a strong sign of interest, but again, that high a number created some problems. When June Miles Mays tried to sign up for Obamacare at a Miami health center, the website put her on hold. We need you to wait, the site advised, so we can make sure there's room for you. It was her third attempt at signing up.
Very frustrating for me because I need insurance so badly. And it seems like something in the system or something is not working.
The Need You to Wait prompt is a new feature of healthcare.gov. When the system is overloaded, it puts applicants in a queue and promises an email when it's their turn. But despite promises the website could handle 50,000 users at the same time, the queuing system was turned on today at approximately 35,000 users. Officials said they had to maximize the smooth user experience of those who applied first. There are also potential problems for the thousands who have signed up for new plans. Officials are just now building the system for how insurance companies will be paid, and the companies say their enrollments are slow because of bad information coming from the government. Robert Zirkelbach is with America's Health Insurance Plans, the main lobbying group for the industry.
They're still receiving files that are duplicative, include missing or inaccurate information, and in some cases, they're not getting those enrollment files at all.
What is the potential danger or downside to the applicant?
Well, the concern that everybody wants to avoid is a situation where somebody thinks that they're enrolled, but in fact, they're not.
The White House still argues the website is better than ever and is enrolling an average of several thousand people every day. 2 months ago, 375,000 visitors would have crashed the system, but today, Scott, it held up and was able to put people in line.
So, Wyatt, did the woman in your story, June Miles Mays, ever get to sign up?
Scott, after trying on that website, she finally filled out a paper application. That means she'll learn about her enrollment probably in a week or two.
Wyatt, thanks very much. Retail websites are apparently working quite well. For all of us who are shopping, this is Cyber Monday, and online holiday sales are up 19% over last year. 131 million Americans are expected to shop online today. That's an increase of just 0.4%. A preliminary tally shows that $57.4 billion was spent over the weekend. How does that stack up to last year? Anthony Mason knows.
Despite the mob scene at the malls, the enticing deals, and even some stores opening on Thanksgiving Day for the first time ever, the holiday weekend was not as merry as many retailers hoped.
The mood over this holiday period then was what?
Well, it's okay.
Craig Johnson was out surveying stores for his firm Customer Growth Partners.
Overall, it was kind of a muted holiday, very hot Thursday night, but things really quieted down very rapidly, so it was only so-so.
And after the weak business on Black Friday, Johnson estimates sales this season will be up only about 3%.
And that's very anemic growth. And the reason is that real disposable income, the latest reading year-over-year, is only up 0.9%, which is minuscule.
Online shopping has been stronger. UPS expects to pick up more than 32 million packages this Cyber Monday, about 1 million more than last year. A survey by IBM Benchmark found the average online transaction was about $128 over the 4-day holiday weekend, and that 23% of online shopping was done through a smartphone or mobile device. IBM's Jill Polari.
I mean, isn't that interesting? People are using these devices now while they're shopping, they're using it while they're home. We actually saw it, they were using it through the whole turkey dinner.
Sales over mobile devices were up 43% from last year. Still to come, likely the biggest day for retailers, December 21st. That's the last Saturday before Christmas.
Anthony, retailers have been trying to expand the sales period. We were watching all these Christmas commercials before Thanksgiving. Did that work?
The push to get people to come in Thanksgiving Day did work, Scott, but more and more consumers are programmed to go in quick strikes. They find the deal, they go home. And so that didn't work.
Anthony, thanks very much. Well, investors today were not in a buying mood on Wall Street. The Dow Industrials fell more than 77 points, closing just slightly above 16,000. Overseas now, today, thousands of protesters were back on the streets of Ukraine's capital, Kiev. They're furious that the country's president rejected a trade deal with the European Union. He favors closer ties with Russia instead. Yesterday, police attacked the protesters. The White House calls the violence unacceptable. Today, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visited the Vatican and met with Pope Francis. They discussed the Pope's upcoming trip to the Holy Land, and Netanyahu presented a gift, a book that his late father wrote about the Spanish Inquisition. During the Inquisition in the 1500s, the church forced Jews in Spain to convert to Catholicism. A movie star was killed in a high-speed crash. How soon can you expect to get deliveries from drones? And there's a big change in college football after the play of the year when the CBS Evening News continues.
After my accident, I had serious pain, so I used Salonpas. It's the strongest labeled pain reliever available without a prescription. Salonpas is serious relief against mild to tougher, moderate pain for up to 12 full hours.
Salonpas. I always dreamed of coming here. When my asthma symptoms returned, my doctor prescribed Dulera to help prevent them.
Dulera, mometasone furoate formoterol fumarate dihydrate, is for patients 12 and older whose asthma is not well controlled on a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Dulera will not replace a rescue inhaler for sudden symptoms.
A 6-month clinical study has shown Dulera helps significantly improve lung function.
Dulera contains formoterol, which increases the risk of death from asthma problems and may increase the risk of hospitalization in children and adolescents. Dulera is not for people whose asthma is well controlled with a long-term asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Once your asthma is well controlled, your doctor will decide if you can stop Dulera and prescribe a different asthma control medicine, like an inhaled corticosteroid. Do not take Dulera more than prescribed. See your doctor if your asthma does not improve or gets worse.
Ask your doctor about Dulera.
This is the age of knowing what you're made of. Why let erectile dysfunction get in your way? Talk to your doctor about Viagra. Ask if your heart is healthy enough for sex. Do not take Viagra if you take nitrates for chest pain. It may cause an unsafe drop in blood pressure. Side effects include headache, flushing, upset stomach, and abnormal vision. To avoid long-term injury, seek immediate medical help for an erection lasting more than 4 hours. Stop taking Viagra and call your doctor right away if you experience a sudden decrease or loss in vision or hearing. This is the age of taking action. Viagra. Talk to your doctor.
It's that time of year again. Medicare open enrollment. Time to compare plans and costs. You don't have to make changes, but it never hurts to see if you can find better coverage, save money, or both. And check out the preventive benefits you get after the healthcare law. Open enrollment ends December 7th, so now's the time. Visit Medicare.gov or call 1-800-MEDICARE.
Laura's heart attack didn't come with a warning. Today, her doctor has her on a Bayer aspirin regimen to help reduce the risk of another one. If you've had a heart attack, be sure to talk to your doctor before you begin an aspirin regimen.
Today, we were all talking in the newsroom about Amazon's plan to take its deliveries to new heights. 60 Minutes broke the story last night of how the online retailer wants to use drones to get deliveries to customers faster than ever. Will it fly? Mark Strassman takes a look.
This is the airdrop technology Amazon calls Prime Air. CEO Jeff Bezos told Charlie Rose on 60 Minutes he hopes it will deliver packages under 5 pounds faster than a pizza.
These are effectively drones, but there's no reason that they can't be used as delivery vehicles.
Bezos said a fleet of self-guided drones is still years away.
I know it can't be before 2015 because that's the earliest that we could get the rules from the FAA. My guess is that's probably a little optimistic.
The Federal Aviation Administration is still working out how drones can safely operate below 10,000 feet, America's most congested airspace. For now, only law enforcement and research institutes qualify for the FAA's drone permits. But over the next year, the agency will test the viability of commercial drones in 6 pilot areas. Teams in 24 states have submitted applications to participate, including Adaptive Flight in Marietta, Georgia, which has developed 4 drone models. Eric Johnson is the co-founder. He's sympathetic to the challenge the FAA faces trying to regulate this emerging market.
When you don't even know how they're going to be operated, what size the vehicles are, what the crew size will be, what they'll be doing, it's much more difficult to come up with rules.
Laura Weiss, the lab chief scientist at the Georgia Tech Research Institute, says the drones technology has raced far ahead of current FAA oversight.
It's happening. It's moving forward anyway. I think the companies are lined up no matter what. Regardless of what happens with the FAA decision, things are going to happen.
The FAA's administrator predicts 7,500 drones could be flying in the next 5 years. Mark Strassman, CBS News, Atlanta.
Today, the new AP poll proved that 1 second can change everything in college football. Florida State is now number 1, Ohio State second, Auburn third. Alabama fell from first to fourth after what many believe is the greatest ending ever. Look again. Alabama's last second field goal fell short. Auburn's Chris Davis caught it, and look at him go. He ran 109 yards for the winning touchdown. Auburn won, 34-28. There was a tragic case of life imitating art. We're going to look at the crash that took a movie star's life when we come back.
If you've got COPD like me, hey, breathing's hard. Know the feeling? COPD includes emphysema and chronic bronchitis. Spiriva is a once-daily inhaled COPD maintenance treatment. It helps open my obstructed airways for a full 24 hours. Spiriva helps me breathe easier.
Spiriva Handihaler Tiotropium Bromide Inhalation Powder does not replace fast-acting inhalers for sudden symptoms. Tell your doctor if you have kidney problems, glaucoma, trouble urinating, or an enlarged prostate. These may worsen with Spiriva. Discuss all medicines you take, even eye drops. Stop taking Spiriva and seek immediate medical help if your breathing suddenly worsens, your throat or tongue swells, you get hives, vision changes, or eye pain, or problems passing urine. Other side effects include dry mouth and constipation.
Nothing can reverse COPD. Spiriva helps me breathe better.
Does breathing with COPD weigh you down? Don't wait to ask your doctor about Spiriva.
For over a decade, millions have raised their hand for the proven relief of the purple pill. And that relief could be in your hand. For many, Nexium helps relieve heartburn symptoms from acid reflux disease. Find out how you can save at purplepill.com. There is risk of bone fracture and low magnesium levels. Side effects may include headache, abdominal pain, and diarrhea. If you have persistent diarrhea, contact your doctor right away. Other serious stomach conditions may exist. Avoid if you take clopidogrel. For many, relief is at hand. Ask your doctor about Nexium.
What's an energy company doing in here? A lot more than just powering the equipment. Today, almost everything in here is made from oil and natural gas. Plastics the scientists of ExxonMobil helped engineer to make stronger and thinner. Is an energy company even supposed to be in here? Ask your doctor. Energy lives here.
Here's a simple recipe for success. Before you slice, simmer, or serve, go to Ross and save. When it comes to cooking and entertaining, you'll find everything you need at unbeatable savings. Ross, unbeatable. When it comes to gifts, you just can't beat Ross. You'll find an incredible selection. The same great gifts as department stores at a fraction of the price. Ross for gifts. Unbeatable.
Today, the Los Angeles County coroner said that autopsy results for actor Paul Walker could be released by tomorrow. Dental records are needed to make a positive identification. Walker, who was 40, died Saturday after the car he was riding in crashed and exploded. Ben Tracy has more.
This video shows the fiery wreck moments after Paul Walker and a friend crashed into a pole in Valencia, California. This is Walker just before leaving a fundraiser Saturday, standing next to a Porsche Carrera GT, a 600-horsepower sports car. His friend, Roger Rodas, who races cars, was believed to be driving it when they crashed. Sheriff's detectives say speed was a factor, but don't think they were racing. The speed limit in the area was 45 miles per hour. Walker was best known for his role in the Fast and Furious films. The action franchise focused on illegal street racing. The 6 films grossed $2.3 billion. Production on the 7th installment is now suspended due to Walker's death. Fans have lined up to pay their respects at a makeshift memorial. Walker's father, Paul, spoke to reporters.
I'm just glad every time I saw him, I told him I loved him.
Now, law enforcement did tell us today that this area where the crash took place has been known for street racing in the past, and there's actually a sharp curve just beyond the crash site. Now, Scott, they have not yet said just how fast the car was moving when the accident happened.
Ben Tracy in our Los Angeles newsroom. Ben, thank you very much. And we'll be right back.
There are seniors who have left hundreds of dollars of savings on the table by not choosing the right Medicare D plan.
No one could have left this much money here.
Yet many seniors who compare Medicare D plans realize they can save hundreds of dollars.
CVS Pharmacy wants to help you save on Medicare expenses. Talk to your CVS pharmacist, call, or go to cvs.com/compare to get your free, personalized plan comparison today.
Call, go online, or visit your local store today.
Look at this amazing before and after. See why every year Lifestyle Lift wins. Over 6 million individuals just like you have already called. These people are real. The photos untouched. Will you imagine what a Lifestyle Lift will do for you? Learn how easy it is today. Like the millions before you, call for your free gift pack because we are the nation's #1 choice for people like you who want to look and feel younger. Their stories began like yours with an easy free phone call because like you, they cared about not looking old anymore. They look amazing, youthful, and energetic. Join countless others like you. Call today because we have a special gift just for you. Our free gift pack filled with invaluable information. Call 1-800-800-3182 now. No credit card needed. And when you call today, you'll receive your gift pack fast. Because as a free bonus, we'll expedite it. And you'll get a coupon for your facial analysis, see your new look, a $300 value, free. So call 1-800-800-3182.
Before COPD, I took my son fishing every year. We had a great spot. Not easy to find, but worth it. But with COPD making it hard to breathe, I thought those days might be over. So my doctor prescribed Symbicort. It helped significantly improve my lung function starting within 5 minutes. Symbicort doesn't replace a rescue inhaler for sudden symptoms. With Symbicort, today I'm breathing better, and that means fish on. Symbicort is for COPD, including chronic bronchitis and emphysema. It should not be taken more than twice a day. Symbicort may increase your risk of lung infections, osteoporosis, and some eye problems. Tell your doctor if you have a heart condition or high blood pressure before taking it. With COPD, I thought I'd miss our family tradition. Now Symbicort significantly improves my lung function, starting within 5 minutes, and that makes a difference in my breathing. Today, we're ready for whatever swims our way. Ask your doctor about Symbicort. I got my first prescription free. Call or click to learn more.
If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
After a Jewish fraternity is vandalized with hate messages, the community comes together to light the menorah. We'll have details tonight at 11.
Finally tonight, this sounds like the premise for a sitcom. A mild-mannered calculus teacher is transformed every Saturday into a bruising NFL prospect. But there's no punchline here. Jim Axelrod introduces us to a real-life superstar.
Down, go down, push. Strictly by the numbers. 6'3", 300 pounds, first team All Big Ten. Penn State offensive lineman John Urschel is exceptional.
XY squared evaluated from y equals x.
But it's another set of numbers
2x.
that elevate him to unique in the world of college football.
This gives us the integral from 0 to 2.
Urschel graduated with a degree in mathematics in just 3 years and a perfect 4.0 GPA. He then finished one master's degree and is now working on a second, and has as many academic publications to his name as varsity letters.
I wouldn't say not very common amongst athletes. This is uncommon amongst math graduate students. I'm 22 and I have 4 papers.
Urschel credits his math background for his ability to analyze defenses and make quick decisions. Mostly, head coach Bill O'Brien marvels at a player who writes on instabilities in the Sun-Jupiter asteroid 3-body problem. But sometimes, O'Brien just laughs.
If you give him a percentage of how many times this team blitzes, he wants to know the whole, survey size and what games we looked at and how many numbers related to. John, just take it from us. They blitz a lot.
Urschel is just what the doctor ordered for Penn State, whose image was pummeled by the Jerry Sandusky child sex abuse scandal. Do you feel like you have a responsibility to sort of polish up the image a little bit of the university?
Absolutely. I've really taken joy in being able to show people some of the great things that Penn Staters are doing, and that's something that I take very seriously.
John Urschel plans to try the NFL, then tackle a PhD.
And the Vertex 2.4? People look at me and they say that there's these two almost completely separate aspects of myself, but honestly, I'd say it all fits under the same letterhead of just hard work, dedication, and just a drive to be the best at what I do. Finish up what you're writing.
Not a bad foundation, whatever the field he's in or on. Jim Axelrod, CBS News, State College, Pennsylvania.
And that's the CBS Evening News for tonight. For all of us at CBS News all around the world, good night.
Assad essentially put you on notice. Do you take that as a threat? How united are the Republicans? You've seen these neighborhoods. How long does it take to give that back? There's only
the Pennsylvania Lottery. Welcome to the Pennsylvania Lottery live this evening, Monday, December 2nd, 2013. Thanks to tonight's witness, Marlene Nelson.